Okay, so we are going to split you guys up into two groups. The first group is all of you gorgeous people who have just started joining us. There's the group of you that have just joined us with it over the last couple of weeks, and I'm so thankful for you guys. I'm so glad that you're here. The reason that I'm glad you're here is because we're doing some serious work here. Like what we're working on is the psychological advancement that humanity needs to go through so that we can start having a whole lot more conscious creators. Okay? And if we're going to do that, you guys need the full education. And you can go back and look at the previous readings that began last summer if you want to. But what I would much rather do, because energy is always changing, it's always shifting. I'm sure that if you go back and watch, there's going to be something there for you. But I would like to focus more on where you guys are at right now in this new group and what you need to hear now, because even since last summer, the world has changed a lot, right? And this is a collective reading. That means it has to do with things that are relevant for humanity, and things are, if they're different than they were last summer, then what you need is going to be a little bit different than what was recorded last summer. So that's the first group. You guys are going to get your readings here either on Facebook, at least for the next until the end of May, I think. And then after that, you're going to want to be subscribed to the Firm Hand Tarot channel on YouTube. And the reason for that is that Facebook doesn't apparently like that people are wanting to advance themselves. So we get a lot of censorship here on Facebook. So go to the Firm Hand Tarot channel on YouTube. I have the link in the description. You can go there. You can stay current, the collective readings. For the rest of you, the guys that have been with me for a long time, you can go to Firm Hand Tarot, yes, but what I would like to do is work more closely with the people who have been watching for a while, because the work that you guys have been doing is really starting to advance, and you guys are really amazing. So I think I'm going to do more one-on-one with you guys. If you're interested in keeping up with the tarot readings, but also, being involved in chat groups and things like that, then you can start following me on Patreon, and I'll make a separate post on Facebook for that. So if you have been with me for a while and you want to continue, then I would suggest that you go there. My reasoning for that is you guys have a lot more, how should I say, elevated way of thinking. Okay, so I would like to kind of cater to you guys a little bit more. I feel like you, at this point, without all the work that you guys have been putting in, you guys need some next level shit. So we'll just start doing next level shit on the Patreon. For those of you who are just joining me, like I said, over the last couple of weeks, keep looking for updates on Facebook, subscribe to the Firm Hand channel on YouTube, and you guys, I promise I'll get you caught up to the rest of the group, to our other group, our more advanced group. I'll get you guys caught up as fast as I can. Yeah, the Patreon's going to be really cool. We're doing AP classes, all kinds of stuff. Let's see. I think that's it. So let's get into the pre-shuffle. So first card out, this is the energy that all the rest of the cards are coming out to clarify. This is our Eight of Cups. Our Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups in traditional tarot is walking away from things that no longer serve you. And you can see there's 5 cups down at the bottom. They look pretty shitty, right? They're kind of broken up. Right? They're not even like really holding water. You can see water spilling out of the cracks of the cups. They're used up. They're not useful anymore. They're no longer serving you. But our little patch character is actually walking toward 3 new cups. Notice that these cups are kind of emblazoned in the sky. This is denoting an energy that is in our patch character's imagination. Okay, they're walking towards something that is new to them that they haven't participated in yet, but they get the sense that it's going to be much more beneficial for them. So they're leaving the old behind and they're moving on to something new, something that they think is going to benefit them more, right? That's the Eight of Cups energy, is leaving the past behind, moving toward what is going to benefit you. Okay, so that's our overall energy. Then coming up to clarify, we have the Princess of Swords. Princess of Swords. This energy is creative. Then we have the Aeon, advancement. This has been coming up in our collective readings quite a bit. Advancement. Coming up under creative, we have the Two of Cups. You guys should be very familiar with this. If you're not already, the Two of Cups is deep soul love, not between you and another person, but between you and your soul, you and your higher self. Your earthly body and mind sees your soul, and your soul sees you, and you love each other, you appreciate each other. You have deep soul love for yourself. Then we have, coming up underneath advancement, we have the High Priestess. That's intuition. There's a lot of other stuff in traditional tarot that comes with that card. It's she who knows. The High Priestess is she who knows. This generally is thought of as the one who knows a lot but doesn't say a lot, keeps things to themselves, right? Then we have the Justice card. This is the balance card in the Patch Tarot deck. I did a short on the Firm Hand Tarot channel about Lamed, which this energy in this card, yes, it's the Justice energy, but I did a short video on Lamed. It's a Jewish letter. That energy corresponds with this card, and if you want to watch that, I think it's less than 60 seconds, so it won't take you very long. You can just go to Firm Hand Tarot and watch that if you want to get a little more juice on what that card is all about. And then finally, underneath the High Priestess, we have the expressive energy of our Prince of Cups. Okay, so let me get into this. This is pretty heavy, you guys. I welcome comments on all of my videos, of course, but I think that this one in particular is going to strike a chord, maybe ruffle some feathers too, and I don't shy away from any of that. So if you agree with what I'm saying, that's great. If you disagree, by all means, comment. Let me know what you think about it. Maybe we can open it up for a discussion, right? So in the context of the collective, walking away holds a very different meaning. Yes, you could be individually walking away from people, places, and things that don't serve you and walking toward what was actually meant for you. But on a collective level, the Eight of Cups asks us what have we been participating in that is not for our highest good. The governments, institutions, and social norms that the 3D reality tells us are here to help us. Is that what we've been participating in? But it's painfully obvious that that is one of the illusions of the Matrix. The things that our 3D reality tells us are here to serve us, right? Like governments, institutions, like universities, things like that. Social norms, like getting a certification to have a particular job, having a degree so that you're qualified for a particular job, right? The institution of marriage, even though it might be a very unhealthy relationship that you are exposing not only yourself, but your children to. All of these social norms that we're told that this is just the way it is, that are actually hurting us. Why are we participating in those things? So if we are to leave behind those things, it will take a lot of creative thought to figure out what it is that we should be participating in. What it is, or what could we focus on, creative thought, what could we focus on for our own advancement, the advancement of our species. The evolution of humanity has been coming up a lot in the readings. We know that love for ourselves and others is the only way humanity can live in a just society. And we know that because our intuition pulls at us to begin to live that way all the time. We are constantly getting cues from our intuition that we are somehow not living right, even though we're doing what 3D reality tells us that we should be doing. How many of us are actually truly happy? How many of us actually feel as though we are living our life's purpose, that we're doing what we're meant to do, and that we have the things that were meant for us, right? But when are we going to start to express our understanding of that Two of Cups energy, that deep soul love, right? When are we going to start to express, not just in the way that we talk to ourselves, but in the way that we talk to others, the way that we interact with our work, the way that we view other people's work? When are we going to start actually living in that Two of Cups energy? How are we going to express it? It's time to get really practical about how it is. It sounds great, right? Deep soul love. That sounds great. Yeah, everybody should love themselves and care for themselves and, do all of those, all of those wonderful, beautiful, flowery phrases and cliches, right? But what's the practical application of that? Giving love and attention to the people, places, and things that hurt us on an individual level certainly doesn't work for us. So why are we giving our attention to the government's institutions and societal pressures or pressures that hurt us on an even deeper level? So what this pre-shuffle is talking about is living under universal law, not man's law, universal law. The correct way to live so that your soul actually feels as if it's doing the right thing. Not doing the right thing because society tells you it's the right thing to do. Not doing the right thing because this is how it's always been done in the 3D matrix, right? But on a deep soul level, knowing that you are abiding by universal law. That's what this pre-shuffle is talking about. I have no idea what kind of energy is going to come out in this collective reading, so I'm just going to hop into it and fuck, dude, let's just see. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so let me clean this up real quick. I'm going to shuffle my Patch Tarot deck. Actually, you know what? I need to shuffle all my decks, so you guys are going to hear a lot of card shuffling. Sorry about that, but I've been doing the paperwork for about an hour now, so I got fired up and I hit the record button and I never reshuffled my cards. So we're going to do this real quick. Oh, also what I want to say too, I have a completely different way of reading that I'm going to use for my Patreon members. And I'm just now launching that today. So, I mean, if you want to get in on the ground floor of that, that's really cool. And I appreciate all of you guys who support me. But I have a completely different way of reading cards when I get to do one-on-one work with you. So I get to get a little more juice, a little more in-depth when I read that way. I stick to this for collective readings, this method, because it helps for gathering more broad general energy, which I think is kind of necessary when you're dealing with hundreds, if not thousands of people at a time. But in the Patreon, yeah, we have an opportunity to get a little more wild in there. So that's all I have to say about that. Okay. All right, we got that one shuffled. Let me do this real quick. Promise not to do this to you again. I mean, I might. I don't know. I might. Sometimes I'm forgetful. Whew. Oh, look at that. Ace of Spades right on the top of the deck. Let's shuffle these ones real quick, and then we're going to hop into it. We'll get an oracle card first from the Wildwood Tarot. We'll get our first layer of meaning from our Illuminated Tarot, and then we'll clarify with the patch. Yeah, the other method that I have for reading that I'm using for my Patreon guys is kind of more of a scientific protocol. Like I said, these These readings that I do on here are really more just to gather general energy. We get kind of into the lab, as my high priestess calls it. We get into the experimental lab with that other method of reading. So if you're curious about that, let me know. There we go. Okay. All right, ancestors. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your wisdom. Thank you for allowing me to have accurate interpretation of these messages that you're trying to bring to us. Oh, you guys, the energy is like, I feel like the ancestors are excited. They're bringing something. They're bringing some juice. What do you got for us? I've got a little boy with allergies in the background, and he sounds real congested. The King of Vessels. The eel energy. Eel energy. We're going to read this from the book. I'll set him right up there so I can look at him. All right, the King of Vessels. This is our oracle card for this reading. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. The Knight of Vessels. I'm like, why doesn't that picture match? Okay. The Knight of Vessels, eel. The eel is a wise protector. According to Irish myth, certain eels could turn into weapons when yielded by a warrior. Cuchulain's famous spear, the Gabolga, derives its name from the eel, and the war goddess, the Morrigan, assumed that form in battle. The eel swims where weeds and cresses drift. With purity of intent, your destiny defined, you are able to bring wisdom and maturity to your tasks. Embarking on a quest of personal revelation, your vision leads you onward. Very Eight of Cups energy, isn't it? Your deep feelings are expressed at every turn. A charming, cultured, and gallant person. This is as a person in your life energy. Sensitive and imaginative, he or she takes dreams seriously. He runs on a high emotional current. As a friend or a lover, he is attractive and congenial to be with, exploring the shores of love and friendship imaginatively. He can be a seductive, smooth talker who plays the field, or an addictive personality who plumbs the depths of his own fantasies. Emotional cogency. Why do I not recognize that word? Discovering how to merge with a concept or find accord with a person, promoting harmony. What is the nature of your contract? People, places, and things that you participate with. What is the nature of your contract? What are emotions running high? Or where are emotions running high? I apologize, you guys. What needs to be expressed sensitively? That expressive energy in our Knight of Cups from the pre-shuffle. How are we going to express how the way that we feel is correct to live in the world? How are we going to express that deep soul love that we're always going on about? Right? How do we give that practical application? Okay. All right. That definitely seems to fit with the pre-shuffle for sure. I love that it came out as the Knight of Cups, because that's kind of in immature energy, yes, but also it's reflecting the Prince of Cups in our pre-shuffle, right? That expressive energy. So that's kind of, it's almost like the ancestors are doubling down on that particular energy, which is free wielding, wearing your heart on your sleeve, not, there's almost like a stubbornness to that type of energy, right? Like when you're young and you know what you know what you know and you know what you believe and you aren't really willing to compromise, you know what I mean? That kind of energy. Okay. Okay, please ancestors give us 4 cards. 4 cards for our first level of meaning in this reading. What do you want to share with the collective? What messages do the collective need? Does the collective need at this moment in time as we're talking about justice for the collective, as we're talking about creative thought to bring advancement, walking away from what no longer serves us, walking toward what is meant for us? Give me 4 cards, please. There it is. The Ace of Spades, Ace of Swords. It was on the top of the deck when I began the shuffle. 5 of Clubs. 3 of Hearts. And the 3 of Spades. And the 3 of Spades. Okay. We're going to read these energies from the book to make sure that we are getting all the juice that the cards have to offer, and then we're going to hop into it, you guys. Okay, so the Ace of Spades, same with traditional tarot. This is focus, clarity. It also represents truth. Okay. Swords are always mental energy. Swords are, yes, words, but more like thoughts. In the Patch Tarot, the Ace of Swords is a divine realization. 5 of Clubs. The Devil. Temptation, attachment, control. Coming up under realization. Coming up under focus and clarity. Then we have the 3 of Hearts. A party or celebration. This corresponds with the 3 of Cups in traditional tarot, which for me is loving collaboration or celebration, celebrating the rewards of loving collaboration. The reward is the celebration of loving collaboration. And then we have the 3 of Spades. Moving beyond sorrow, understanding one's own feelings. Understanding one's own feelings. So Devil card energy isn't always bad, you guys. Just because it's the Devil card doesn't mean that it's inherently a bad thing to come up in a reading, because Devil card energy also represents your desires, your wants, the things that you might obsess over, right? And if those are things that are healthy for you, then a little bit of obsession it's not always a bad thing, right? If you are obsessed with being as healthy as you could possibly be, I mean, there's a lot worse things to be obsessed about, isn't there? Or if you are obsessed with getting that particular form of education that you want, then you're doing something to better yourself. You're doing something that's towards your own curiosity, and that's always for your own good. Your curiosity, your interests, all of those things, following those things is how you find your path in the world, what's meant for you. The curiosities that you have are in you for a reason. They're there for you to expand yourself, to expand your knowledge of the world, to expand your understanding of the world, and to bring in different kinds of experiences for you. So if you weren't ever curious about anything, you would never get to have new experiences, right? So Devil card energy can really be there to help direct you. Now, if it does show up in your life in a seemingly negative way, I'm forever the optimist, and so I see it. I see devil card energy as always working to our benefit, because what really happens when we experience a difficult time is that we have an opportunity to learn. So, okay, thanks, Jesse. So when the devil card comes up, I'm actually always a little bit excited, because either way, whichever way you look at it, whether it's applying to something negative in your life or actually something that's positive, it's always means growth, right? And I talk a lot about unconditional love for the devil, meaning that we are all, as God's children, we are all here to serve a purpose, right? And the devil is exactly the same. The devil is here to serve a purpose, and the purpose of him being here on earth with us, that devil card energy, or resistance. In the book, The War of Art, he talks about devil card energy as resistance. But that energy is always here to benefit us in one way or the other. Unconditional love for the devil is really a wonderful way to receive that energy, because when you approach something, even if it's resistance, devil card energy, with love, you're always going to benefit from it. You're going to get the most out of it. And so in the context of this, like having this realization, uh, being focused and having clarity on devil card energy is actually really an advantageous place to be. And then following up, like immediately following that, is celebration, the Three of Hearts energy. Celebration, loving collaboration, right? And with the Three of Spades, moving beyond sorrow, understanding one's own feelings. When you receive devil card energy in that positive way, with unconditional love, understanding that everything is for you, the world is for you, not against you, and you understand, even though devil energy usually will bring negativity into our lives, understanding how you feel about it, why it makes you feel the way that you do. I'm trying to think of an example, so I'm kind of stumbling over my words. But let's say that you are in a work environment that is unhealthy. Let's say that you go to work every day and you just dread it. Like you're in the parking lot saying, fuck, I don't want to go in there, but you force yourself to because you need that paycheck. And then you're dealing with, say, coworkers who want to pile more and more on your plate, or you are exposed to an abusive boss or something like that. Devil card energy is there in that particular situation to force you to draw a boundary, to draw a line in the context of how you are willing to be treated, right? It's forcing you to either accept that treatment or move into, take a leap of faith and move into a different position or a different job or something that is going to actually feed your soul as opposed to suck your soul, right? So this first layer, what I'm picking up here, is the realization that while devil card energy is for ultimately our benefit, when we are able to take the lessons from that and apply the lessons that we've learned toward better collaborations, more loving collaborations, that's when we actually get to reap rewards in our life, right? By learning a lesson, you're planting a seed within yourself, right? By willingly learning a lesson, you are cultivating a deeper level of character, right? And we reap what we sow. Okay, let's get into clarifiers. Goodness, that was pretty deep, guys. All right. Y'all give me 3 cards for the Ace of Spades. I can't help it hearing that song, the Ace of Spades. I'm such a nerd. I'm a classic rock junkie. 3 for the Ace of Spades, please. Ace of Spades. So coming up to clarify, we have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. The Princess of Wands. I'm sorry. This, technically, the energy of this card is Fortune. Then we have the Princess of Wands. This is enthusiastic energy. And then we have the Ace of Swords, realization. Coming up to clarify, the Ace of Spades, focus, concentration, okay? A divine inspiration, perhaps, a realization. Y'all, what are you up to? Okay, so off the bat, what I'm picking up from some of you is that y'all are making moves. That's what I see here. You guys are making moves and you're pretty fucking excited about it. And it looks like this has been triggered. It's been triggered in you to change something up. You're changing something up because you've had a realization. About what? I don't know yet. But you're enthusiastic about it. This is fire energy. This is passionate energy. You're enthusiastic about it. And you seem to be under the impression, and I would agree with you, that this is going to give you a fortunate turn of the karmic wheel. I would agree with you, just because when you receive like a divine download, like I said, the Ace of Swords is coming up to clarify the Ace of Spades. It's all Ace of Swords. When you receive a divine download of data, information, realization, and it makes you feel like this, you fucking cannot go wrong. You follow that, no matter what anybody says to you, you follow whatever that is. Whatever it is. I don't care what it is. You follow it. And this might have to do with your desires, right? Maybe like what you truly desire, not what you desire, what your ego desires, right? In the 3D matrix, not that. It's what your soul is looking for. You feel this feeling when your soul is excited about something. That's when you get this feeling, right? And so I think it very much has to do with this Devil card energy. Very much has to do with this Devil card energy. I want you to look. Do you see how there's 2 faces but only 3 eyes? This is you and your soul. Hi, my love. Hi, Shay. This is you and your soul in accordance, in agreement. Okay? All right, so let's clarify that 5 of clubs there. Let's get 3 cards for the 5 of clubs, our Devil card. Oh, look at that. Devil card at the bottom of the deck. Oh, sorry, let me turn them for you. Devil card at the bottom of the deck. The ancestors are like, yeah, that's what we fucking said. That's what we said. You guys are funny. Did I not say that fire is passionate energy, right? Fire is passionate energy. You're excited about something that your soul is craving, all right? And coming up to clarify the Devil card, we have the King of Wands. King of Wands, fire energy, king of passion. Look at that. Look at that. Audacious. That's the energy of this card. Audacious. My High Priestess, she calls this action guy. This is action guy. Making moves, motherfucker, making moves. Then we have the all embracing. Embracing what it is that your soul actually wants, not fighting it because it goes against social norms, right? Not fighting it because you feel insecure. No, there's no insecurity here. Audacious. How dare you? From yesterday's reading, remember, guys? How dare you? How dare you? I love it. The Hermit meditation. How dare you? Because you looked deep within yourself, not to anyone else. not to anyone else to give you answers, not to anyone else to tell you what's the right path for you. You didn't look to anyone else. You looked deep within yourself for your own answers. And it looks like you found them. And you're fucking excited about it. In fact, you're embracing it. Because what is this? This is Holy Arcana. This has to do with your connection to God and your life's purpose. So you are embracing it. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. Bear with me, guys. There's more juice to be had here. Let me just look at this for a minute. You guys got a nugget. Like I said with this card, you got a download, did ya? Divine realization provided to you by the universe. Like I said before, aces are always gifts from the universe. Did you get a little nugget? Maybe the ancestors tapped you on the shoulder and said, hey, look over here. Hey, what's that? Hey, pay attention to this. Did you follow your curiosities? Did it lead you somewhere interesting? I love you guys. Following your intuition and shit. Look at you. You're amazing. 3 cards. 3 cards on the 3 of Hearts, please. Oh. Confirmation again. The Devil card on the bottom of the deck clarifying the Devil card. Then we have the 3 of Cups. Love and collaboration at the bottom of the deck when clarifying the 3 of Hearts. Celebration. Love and collaboration. All right, here we go. The ancestors are doubling down. They're like, you fucking heard what I said. You heard what we said. Oh, okay. You guys are so badass. You're so badass. Hold on, give me a second. I know I'm kind of being spastic, but like, I don't know if you guys can feel this energy. I can feel this energy. Like, they are excited. They're excited. We are coming into something here. We're coming into something here. Yeah. Remember that 5 of Discs energy? Remember that? Remember that lack mentality that we all used to have? Remember that feeling like a victim, worrying about the future all the time? Remember that bullshit? You remember that? High Priestess. High Priestess isn't worried about shit. The High Priestess already knows. She knows. She knows everything she needs to know. And you know why? Because she uses her intuition. Her intuition is on point. And I believe so is yours, guys. I believe that your intuition is on point because you received a little nugget of wisdom from the universe. You got a download about something that affects you deeply. Deeply. And I know that because you're coming out as audacious. You're coming out as the action guy, the King of Wands. You're coming out like balls to the wall. And you ain't worried about shit. And that's how I know you're using your intuition. I love you guys. I love you. This is going to be called the love reading. I'm going to rename the live stream. It's going to be called the love reading. Okay. I love you guys. You're amazing. And then look at that. We have the Ace of Cups, a loving gift from the universe. Ace of Cups, compassion. Perhaps that nugget of wisdom, data, information, seeing the ones and zeros, that download that you got from the universe had to do with the fact that you guys finally are having some compassion for yourselves. You guys are finally realizing that you don't need to be perfect because you're already perfect in the eyes of God. You are beautiful children of God, and you're having some compassion for yourself. Understanding that what you want, what your curiosities are, what you want for yourself is also what God wants for you. And so why would you beat yourself up about the things that you truly desire? They don't come from the devil. They don't come from the devil. The devil is there to trip you up and make you learn lessons. He's there to give you obsession so that you actually follow your curiosities, your interests, your path, right? Finally, having some compassion for yourself, dropping social norms. Fuck social norms, having no fucks to give except for yourself, right? Having some compassion for yourself and understanding that you deserve everything you want. Because what you want is what God wants for you. And do you know why that is? Because what you inherently want, what your soul wants, is going to benefit humanity. We're talking about the evolution of the human species. That's what these readings are all about. What you want is going to benefit humanity. And having compassion for yourself and understanding that you deserve to have what it is that you want. By the way, Shay, we got to talk about some stuff. I'm going to message you later. What you want for the universe is exactly what you want for the universe. Wow. Okay, well, that's something deeper I'm going to go into later. What you want for yourself is also what the universe wants for you, because we are evolving the species and we need what you want. And you're the only one who can bring it into the world. So having compassion for yourself, allowing yourself to want what you want and desire what you desire, because you are made perfectly. I love you guys. You're so amazing and beautiful. I love you. Okay, give me 3 on the 3 of Spades, please. Understanding your feelings. Understanding yourself. Know thyself, right? That's my know thyself card, by the way. Know thyself. Ooh, sun at the bottom of the deck. Look at that beautiful sun card. Sun at the bottom of the deck, underlying energy. What? What? Hold on, I'm going to keep you in suspense. What? Okay. Okay. So now we officially have divine counterparts on the table, because here we have the King and Queen of Wands. Did I not say you guys were passionate? And I fucking know you are, because look at this shit. You're coming up balanced in your masculine and feminine energy. Do you know what that means? That means that you are balancing the polarity within yourself. Now, the easiest way to tap into your connection to source, to use your intuition, to actually understand what it is that you want, that has been that seed that has been planted in you since before you were born, that you were meant to grow, your curiosities, your path, your purpose in life, the way that you do that thing, whatever it is for you, is balancing your polarities so that you can connect with your intuition, your connection to source, your connection to God, and you can actually begin to walk in the path that He has laid out for you. She has laid out for you, the father, the mother, whatever you want to call it. That path was carved into the earth since before you got here. It's what you were always meant to do. And we can get into discussions about destiny and all of that, but this isn't that, really. What this is you have a very specific energetic signature. We're getting a little bit into physics, and if you're interested in that type of discussion, join the Patreon. That's where it's going. AP classes all day. We're getting a little bit into physics here. You have a very specific energetic signature that only you carry. Only you carry it. And that's why the things that you do, the things that you think, when you are living authentically as yourself, because you have compassion for yourself. You love yourself enough to be authentic, because you know that everything you do authentically is meant for you, right? When you have compassion for yourself, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So why would you prevent yourself from doing what it is that you were meant to do? That's meant for you, right? So that very specific energetic signature that you carry, nobody else carries it. I don't care if you're an identical twin or not, nobody, it doesn't have to do with your DNA. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. That very specific signature that you carry was always meant to be here. It was always meant to be part of this collective. And the way that you express it is perfect because you are made perfectly. And when you balance your polarities, just like an atom is balanced to be able to create matter, you begin to create in the world. You become a conscious creator when you balance your masculine and your feminine, your positive and your negative, your light and your dark. This is when you become a conscious creator. You then have access to your intuition. Then, you know what is really funny? I'm going to creep all of you guys out. This moment right here, this moment of union right here within yourself is when your ancestors start talking to you. That's when you start getting the secrets of the universe. This is when you start seeing the ones and zeros of the matrix, which is what I teach, right? You guys are fucking amazing, and you've been doing a lot of hard work, and it's almost making me want to cry a little bit because I'm really proud of you. I really am. I'm really proud of you. Okay, let's move on because that was the first look, I'm all teary-eyed. You guys are awesome. I fucking love you. That was just the first clarifying card for the 3 of Spades. So we got to keep it moving. No, not like that, like this. Okay, shift. The 8 of Wands. This again is fire energy. But look at that. Do you know what that symbol in the center of the rings is? That's the Eye of Horus, yes. Surface level wisdom right there. That's union between you and your higher self and your source. That's union. When you have that union between you, your higher self, and your source, when you have that, shifts start to happen, babies. Like I said, this is the moment in time when you start having real weird stuff happen to you. You start having real weird stuff happen to you. Like I said, your ancestors might start talking to you. It's creepy. I'm not going to lie, it's creepy. Some people actually hear voices. Other people get messages through music or movies. Some people get messages through just observing nature, whatever it is. But you start to see the ones and zeros of the universe. You start to see the code behind the matrix. And this, wow. Hold on, let me just listen. Okay, this is when that deep soul love gets really important. That compassion for yourself gets really important. Because when you balance your positive and your negative, your light and your dark, you start to get crazy ass downloads from the universe. You start to see messages everywhere. You might notice synchronicities everywhere. You might begin to feel real weird. Okay, I don't know how else to describe it. I'm speaking from experience, but I don't know how else to describe it. Okay. Again, this is we're actually getting into an AP class right now because normally we don't talk about these things in public. But I mean, the ancestors know this is a public reading, so we're just going to have to get into it. You're going to start to feel real weird. And I can't express for you what that's going to feel like for you because it's going to be different for everyone. But it might feel a little bit like you're losing your mind. It might feel a little bit like tower moments are happening to you every day, maybe multiple times a day. And the reason for that is your energetic signature is beginning to, how can I put this? Okay. Let's say that like I said before, we're creating matter, right? When you come into union with yourself, you're creating matter and you have the ability to create matter, okay? So let's say that the first thing that happens is your ego and your higher self come into union with each other, okay? What happens when you put two atoms of elements together? What happens? You create a new compound, okay? This is a new form of matter when you put two atoms together. Okay, when you are creating new matter, you have something that's new, that hasn't existed before. Okay, so when you put your ego and your higher self together and they actually are in alignment and they are actually working together, this is a new entity. You are a new person. Okay, and so like I said, you might feel real weird. And the reason for that is because the things that you identified with before, okay, the things that your ego identified with before, that felt good to your ego before, don't feel as good anymore. In fact, you might become intolerant of those things. And this might be people, like people that you used to enjoy being around, now suddenly you can't stand them, okay? This might be your job. You might be like, why the fuck am I in this job? It goes against everything I believe in now. I can't stay at this job, right? It might be food. You might become physically intolerant of things that you've eaten your whole life. You know, you might have had no problem eating fast food in the past. Suddenly, when you are in alignment with yourself, when you've created this new being that you've become, when you melded your ego and your higher self together, and now maybe your higher self has taken the reins, and you eat something that's fast food that you've eaten a million times before, never had a problem with, suddenly you can't stomach it anymore. Things like this will start to happen to you when your psychology changes that deeply. When your psychology shifts for the better in such a way that you become psychologically a different person, you will no longer be able to tolerate the things that you used to be able to. And this is a good thing because the things that you let go of, that empty space leaves room for things that are good for you to come in, right? Like if you just keep fixing up the same shitty car over and over again, instead of just getting rid of it and leaving room in your life for a new car, you'll never say to yourself, I need a new car. You'll just keep fixing up the same shitty car. But if you just trash that heap, suddenly you're subconsciously going to be in the mind space of receiving a new car. And you might get the car of your dreams. You don't know, right? But that won't happen unless you ditch the old junker, right? You might discover new foods that you love that you would have never tried before because you were a meat and potatoes kind of guy. And now all of a sudden you like, I don't know, like flatbread with truffle sauce or whatever. I don't know, whatever, you know. Your taste buds will change. Your taste in music might change. The things that used to make you feel really good suddenly put you in a low vibration. And the reason for that is because you have elevated beyond the vibration of whatever that thing was. And there's a reason that I'm talking to you about this, because this is actually on card. We have the Five of Swords coming up to clarify, along with our passionate Queen of Cups, or I'm sorry, Queen of Wands, our energetic shift of our Eight of Wands. We have the Five of Swords. This is conflict. That shift that happens within you when you've balanced your polarities, again, I'm speaking from experience here, is going to cause all level of conflicts in your life. Okay? Let's start at the base level. The conflict of not being able to eat the things that you used to eat, right? You might get really thirsty. Jesus, we are doing an AP class, aren't we? Okay. All right, we're just going to do a public AP. You guys normally have to pay for this, so you're lucky. You're lucky they're bringing this up now. Jeez, man. Okay. You might get really thirsty, okay? And the reason for that is that your body is beginning to vibrate at a higher frequency than it did before. This is, again, we're getting into physics and things like that. We're not going to worry about like technical shit right now. I'm just going to give you practical application. If you're curious about this, I don't know, shit, I guess I'm opening myself up for a whole bunch of one-on-one phone calls. But anyways, okay. You might get really thirsty. And the reason for that is that your body is vibrating at a higher frequency than it did in the past. You required less hydration than you did in the past, okay? You might have gotten away with drinking soda all day. I don't know. I don't know what you guys do. But suddenly you, like, nothing you drink is satisfying until you drink water. And then when you drink water, you just can't get enough of it. And then you start to realize that water from the tap isn't doing it either. I need like good water. I need like clean water. I need high vibing water. You might start doing weird shit like putting your water out under the moonlight. I'm not even joking. You guys might start doing some weird shit, okay? And roll with it. Have compassion with yourself for yourself to understand that your intuition is on point. Okay, so whatever your intuition tells you to do, drink more water, don't eat fast food, eat more vegetables, maybe you go on an all juice diet. I don't know, all juice diet. I don't know what you guys are going to do. But listen to your intuition because it knows what it's talking about, and it's only going to lead you to things that are good for you, okay? But here's the thing. Here's the next level of conflict that's going to come up. People are going to start noticing that you're different. People are going to start noticing that you're moving differently, that you're acting differently, that things that you used to tolerate from them maybe, you don't tolerate anymore. Do you have a partner or a boss or a child that talks down to you, that's condescending to you, maybe abusive to you? And you suddenly find yourself through no will or effort of your own, almost as if God is speaking through you, you might find yourself putting them in their place because you are no longer tolerant of their treatment of you. And the reason for that is because now you actually have self-love. Now you actually understand how you should be treated by someone who loves you because you love yourself. And you know how you treat yourself. You're not putting shitty water in your body anymore. You're not putting shitty food in your body anymore. You've demonstrated to yourself over and over and over again why it is that you love yourself and how you should love yourself. And so when you see yourself being mistreated by others, you're going to fucking tolerate that? No. No. And that's the next level of conflict because other people that you don't resonate with anymore, that you can't tolerate anymore, will say, who the fuck are you? How dare you think that you are worthy of caring for yourself? And at that point, you have the choice to let go of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. Think about that. That's the next level of conflict. And that conflict will continue until you remove the things, people, places, and things that no longer serve you. That job that makes you feel sick to your stomach every time you have to walk into the building, fuck that job. No fucks given for that job. Or that boss or that friend that you used to tolerate when they would think that they should tell you what to do with your life all the time and you would take advice from when clearly they are mismanaging their own life. You don't have any fucks for that anymore. You can't deal with that anymore. You can't tolerate that anymore. And I'm not saying you have to be mean about it. Don't go around being a dick, right? Because when you have self-love and you understand how you should be treated, you understand better how to treat others. And you might still love those people, places, and things, but that doesn't mean that you have to participate with them anymore. Okay? That's the next layer of conflict that we're talking about here. And then the deepest meaning, the deepest level of conflict that we're going to talk about here is when you bump up against social norms that you cannot abide by. And this came out in the pre-shuffle. When you realize that man's law is not universal law. That man's law most often contradicts universal law, and your soul is going to be pulling you to abide by universal law. And so this conflict, this isn't a conflict between you and the fucking McDonald's, right? I can't eat that. I can't tolerate it anymore. That's an easy conflict to get rid of, right? It's not the conflict between you and someone who's been in your life for a long time, right? Because you can say to this person, listen, I know that I've changed. They'll say, you've changed. You're different. You've changed. Yeah, bitch, we're evolving. We're supposed to change. People change. That's the whole fucking point. If you don't learn, you don't change, right? We're here to learn. So you can say, accept me as I am, or I love you, but I'll see you later. I'll love you from over here. You can love me from over there. We don't have to intermingle with each other. It's fine, because neither one of us can tolerate each other's energy anymore. That's fine. That's a relatively mellow level of conflict. But the level of conflict that you're talking about, hold on one second, guys. I'm not done yet. The level of conflict that we're talking about when you no longer can agree with man's law because you understand universal law, this is an internal conflict, okay? This is the scariest kind of conflict because that those two opposing views, what is acceptable or just under man's law, many times doesn't correspond with universal law. It doesn't. And I'm thinking of all kinds of examples, but let me give you a couple. Truancy officers. Treating parents and children like criminals because you don't agree with the education system. Okay, that's one level of conflict, one example of conflict, right? These are the types of conflicts that put you into a state of moral contemplation. Is what I believe in just and correct, even though the 3D matrix is telling me that I'm wrong, because the social norm says that I'm wrong? All you can really do is look at your own soul and what does your own soul have to say about it, and then that's what you fucking go with. Okay? Roe v. Wade has been up, and that's been real hot lately, right? It's been real hot lately. We have a lot of people who are willing to fight with each other about this. And I might get a lot of people mad at me when I say this. I'm not, pro-abortion or, pro-choice or pro-life. I'm pro-autonomy. Okay, pro-autonomy. Autonomy, self-governance is a universal law. Okay? And these are the types of conversations that you're going to have with yourself as your frequency begins to raise. Okay? This is the type of conflict that you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have 3D material conflict. I can't fucking eat Whoppers anymore, right? You're going to have emotional conflict, right? I can't tolerate that friend anymore. I don't think I want to talk to my abusive parent anymore, right? You're going to have emotional conflict. But you're going to have spiritual conflict. And that conflict goes a lot deeper than what I brought up now. I mean, it might not seem like it, but Roe v. Wade is it's the tip of the iceberg when we're talking about moral, spiritual conflict, okay? So And I know we got real serious here, and this, how long? Oh God, this reading is going a long time. I don't even care because the ancestors were like, fucking say this. It needs to be said. Okay. I feel like they want me to warn you about what's to come for you as you're doing your shadow work, as you're beginning to raise your vibration, as you're beginning to see material changes in the 3D world that are reflecting the changes that are happening within you. They want me to give you a buffer, a little bit of a warning. Not in a scary way, but so that you know what to expect, because the world is going to try to convince you that you're losing your mind. Simply because you are finally living how you believe you're supposed to live. And I love you. I love you so much. I'm so glad that you guys are doing this work, and maybe you'll start to understand why it is that I'm so weird, the way that I'm weird, you know, now that you guys are going through this. I want to stress again that I know that not all of you, and I can tell by the people who jumped in, heard me saying something real fucking weird and then jump back out again. Those are my newbies. It's okay. Those are my newbies. I'm going to keep doing readings for you guys. Okay? I'll be doing public collective readings, yes. But if you want to understand this process more, because there's a lot more to unpack that we don't have time, it's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day, right? If you want to start to understand that stuff, go check out my Patreon. I'll put the links in the description here. That's what we're doing, is straight AP classes. So, oh good, King James, you didn't miss anything. If you're just bored, you didn't miss anything. Don't bother going back and rewinding. You're not going to enjoy it. It's boring. Yeah, I'll put the Patreon link in the description. You know what? I think I'm about done with this, but I feel like we are supposed to be getting a little bit of advice from the ancestors. That Five of Swords card, that conflict card, they were like, hey, here's some advice. You know, be aware of this. But let's see what the ancestors have to say about all of this. What does my collective need to know moving forward? That's fucking beautiful, and I'm gonna keep it because we can talk about the Six of Cups. We can definitely talk about the Six of Cups. Gorgeous. I love you, ancestors. You guys are amazing. Okay, here's our advice. Having compassion for yourself. It's going to allow you to be more compassionate towards other people. And what having compassion for yourself does is it allows you to be able to receive. When you have compassion for yourself, you are opening yourself up to the universe, because you're no longer being weighted down by shames and guilt and insecurities and things like that, right? You become your authentic self, right? You become who you are meant to be. You're not afraid to be that, to express that, right? What happens when you become that person is you bring like-minded individuals into your life. This is Six of Cups. The best way that I can describe this card is having been homesick and the feeling of no longer being homesick. That sounds juicy, don't it? That sounds like something you want, don't it? How many of you feel like you've been homesick for a place or a person or a thing that you've never had before or seen or even know exists, but you feel it? You feel homesick for it, whatever it is, right? This card is the feeling of no longer being homesick. And that's because you're finding your soul tribe. When you become your authentic self, you get to find your soul tribe. That's what the Six of Cups is. Your soul mates, right? Queen of Swords. This woman is perceptive. This woman is perceptive. And the reason that she's coming out here, I suspect what the ancestors are trying to get across is, now that you are reaching this particular level of discernment of what is meant for you and what's not meant for you, and actually being able to cut out things that are not meant for you to make room for things that are, don't let your perception get weak. right? Like, let's say you cut out every single person in your life and you're starting brand new. You move to a new city, new job, new friends, building a, your own, handmade family or whatever, hand selected family, whatever. Don't let your perception get weak. Keep your sword sharp. I'm not saying have unbreachable boundaries. What I'm saying, or that's not the right way to say that. Have boundaries, yes, but don't be closed off. That's what I'm saying. You want to remain in a energy of receiving. You want to remain in a frequency of receiving. But when you see bullshit, like say you got, oh, this is my dream job. I'm going to start this new job. It's going to be amazing. And you start that new job and it goes great for a little while. And then you start to realize, maybe that coworker that cozied up to me when I first started, they're a bit of a gossip. And I hear them talking shit about all kinds of people around here. I wonder what they're saying about me when I'm not around. The Queen of Swords don't got no time for no bullshit. Okay? No time. Ain't nobody got time for that. So you keep your sword of perception sharp. Okay? And that's going to protect you. And yes, you are protected as a, divine child of God. You are always protected. But why would the ancestors bother protecting somebody who purposely or who ignorantly puts themselves in situations for themselves to get hurt? You keep your sword of perception sharp. You protect yourself. Your ancestors will protect you. God will protect you. Okay? And then after that, all you have to do is have faith. This is our star card. Have faith that as you continue on your journey, you will dig up more and more things within yourself that you need to heal. More and more ways that your perception needs to change as you go along your path. But have faith. Have faith that you are finally on the right path, that you're doing what you're meant to do. And I love that quote so much, and it's so appropriate here. Continue forth and be bold, and great forces will come to your aid. Okay? You guys are fucking amazing. I love you. I love you. I love you. I can't tell you that enough. I can't tell you how proud I am of you enough. Just keep it up. Keep going. I'll be back again tomorrow for another one. Hope your food got there, James. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye.